What's up everyone, Monica here from Girasol Vintage and welcome back to another episode of Refinishing Furniture. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more furniture DIYs and home decor content. This week's project is a Bentwood rocking chair. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you guys know that this is the second Bentwood rocking chair that I've done. And if you're interested in watching that video, I will add it at the end of this one. I love refinishing Bentwood chairs. The architectural design is just so beautiful and I'm obsessed with it. Now clearly someone's already refinished this chair because as you can see, it doesn't have the original cane webbing on the seat, but that's okay. I'm planning to upholster the seat. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and start by disassembling the chair. As I remove the screws, I put them together with tape so they don't get lost. I also number them so I know how to assemble the chair back together. So just a couple of tips I wanted to give you guys when working on a Bentwood chair or Bentwood piece of furniture. If you decide to disassemble the chair, try to work on it as fast as possible and try not to leave it disassembled for too long because the wood is going to want to go back to its natural state and it's a pain in the butt to put it back together. The other thing I wanted to suggest, especially because it did happen to me when I worked on the other chair that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I worked on that chair during the summer and it was super hot and humid and I really had a hard time screwing the back and the seat back onto the chair. So just keep that in mind if you decide to refinish a piece of furniture like this. So now I'm going to start setting up for sanding the entire chair. For this, I will be using my Surf Prep sander, which at this point I had not received my new Velcro pad, so my sandpaper was not sticking to my sander, but I took a little glue and managed to make it work until I got my shipment from Surf Prep Sanding. I started sanding using 100 grit sandpaper and slowly move up to 150 and 220. I did not want to have too smooth of a surface because I will be using Limey Wax for this project and I want for some of the product to stay in the grain of the wood. I don't make money from advertising yet and I certainly don't have a collaboration deal with Surf Prep Sanding, so I can honestly tell you that I really like the product, especially when I'm working on projects like this. Now don't get me wrong, I also like my orbital sander and I really think having both is a must for me. After a couple hours of sanding, this is how the wood looks like and I am completely obsessed with it. For the next step, I will be using Limey Wax from Fusion Mineral Paint. I've never used Limey Wax, but the instructions say to use a soft bristle brush or a lint-free cloth to apply the wax. I will be applying the wax with this cheap brush that comes with the paint tray from the Dollar Tree. I think the whole kit is like $1.25. I took a little bit of product and applied it to the entire surface. I made sure to brush with the grain of the wood to avoid any funky brush strokes. This product dries fast, so don't work directly under the sunlight like me, otherwise you'll have to work fast too. What I like about this product is that you can build it up until you have the desired coverage. I wanted to make sure that you could still see the grain of the wood, so one coat was good enough for me. I allowed the wax to sit for 5 minutes, and then I took a lint-free rag and started buffing off all the extra wax. Next, I started putting the chair back together with the exception of the seat because I need to upholster it first. Next, I'm going to begin upholstering the seat of the chair. The materials I'm using are 1/2 inch foam, 2 yards of fabric that I got from Joann's. I got 2 yards, but you can definitely make it work with 1 yard. And I also have this upholstery adhesive and of course my Porter Cable pneumatic upholstery gun. If you guys have any questions on where to get all these materials, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the description box below. I cut a piece of 1/2 inch foam to glue down in the middle of the chair before I add my 2 inch foam to create a crown, basically to make the chair look extra fluffy. Next, I spray some glue on the wood and a little bit on the corners of the foam. You don't have to use glue, but I like to use it to keep my foam from moving around when I'm starting to staple the fabric onto the wood. While I have that first part drying, I will cut the 2 inch medium foam to the shape of the seat, and here I'm just tracing the shape using a Sharpie, and I labeled the front and the back of the foam so I don't get confused. Cutting this foam was the most difficult part of this process because I don't have an electric knife, but I used a super sharp blade and scissors to get the job done. I made sure to cut enough fabric to cover the entire foam. When using striped fabric, always make sure your lines are running straight. There's nothing worse than being done with a project to find out that the lines are crooked. Find the middle of the fabric and place a staple on all 4 sides to hold the fabric in place while you staple the fabric down all around the chair. I'm going to speed up the process, but let me know if you guys want a more in-depth upholstery video. I do want to say though, I am not a master at upholstery yet, but I enjoy it as much as refinishing furniture, if not more. I don't do it very often because it's time consuming. Once in a while, I will upload an upholstery video or a combination of both. So please do me a favor and like this video if that's something you would like me to do more often. Before I close up the back of the seat, I screwed down the oval that attaches the back and the seat. Then I will work the fabric around this piece. This next part can be a little tricky because you have to cut the fabric around the oval without cutting too much. I like to cut a little bit at a time, going back and forth and tucking in any extra fabric to achieve a clean edge. If at any point you make any mistakes, you can use this tool to remove the staples without damaging the fabric or the wood underneath it. It's the one with the yellow handle. To cut the rest of the fabric, I used a sharp blade, making sure not to cut the wood underneath it. I made my own cord using the same fabric, but you can buy trim that's ready to be glued down. I use hot glue to attach the cord, and this is the final touch for this chair makeover. If you made it to the end, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment down below, share with your friends and family. This is a free way in which you can help my channel grow. If you want to see more of my work, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok using the handle Girasol Vintage. Don't forget that all the links for the products used are found in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for another furniture flip. Bye bye!